It is in children that the COVID virus has got a grip. Most of the daily cases are in the young, so half-term could help slow transmission and give extra time for more children to get protected by the vaccine.
Our school's had a lot of cases recently and I just feel it's going to be safer for me to have it.
They're not protected at the moment and it's just running riot through the schools at the moment and it's affecting their education. This is 3 years my daughter's been affected by this now.
I think it's the right thing to do for her, but also for the society trying to get back to normality again.
More than 86% of the population over the age of 12 has now had at least one dose. But while antibodies from the vaccine and natural infection rise in the young, protection is waning in the elderly. And as more people abandon masks and social mixing increases, the virus is finding more opportunities to exploit holes in that wall of immunity. But the balance between immunity and behaviour is uncertain, and it's making it hard to predict the future course of the pandemic. The University of Warwick has created scenarios for what might happen to the key metric of hospital admissions, with 3 different assumptions on how quickly immunity wanes. If the vaccine holds up, we follow the line at the bottom with a gentle decline in seriously ill patients. If there's a more rapid loss of immunity, we follow the top line and get a peak in admissions. The difference between the two could be more than 1,200 extra patients a day going into hospital. Factor in behaviour changes and predict in the future gets even more uncertain. This is what happens with a rapid return to pre-pandemic behaviour by December, with that potential surge in admissions soon after. But the slower the return to normal behaviour, the lower and later any peak in serious infections. This is the modelling for a return to normal behaviour by February. Those extra 2 months reduce the admission rate, even for the worst-case assumption on immunity, by 500 people a day. A big difference for the NHS. Add in uncertainties over the booster rollout, vaccine uptake in children, the seasonal effect on the virus, and no scientist can predict the future with any certainty.
We have these big changes in immunity in different age groups driven by different processes, whether it's waning immunity in the old or a huge epidemic going on in the young. And so all of those things are playing out, partly cancelling each other out. And you just look at the aggregate number of cases and you get whatever it is. But they're big changes. And so it's very hard to be precise about what might happen going into the future.
The government continues to resist pressure to bring in Plan B, with masks and working from home backing up vaccinations. There are signs in the daily data that the rise in cases may be slowing, but it's far too soon to say the surge is over. Thomas Moore, Sky News.